Hi, welcome to another Valentine's episode at my channel, Artsy Soul. I am your host, Adrian, and I'm going to be walking you through this project that's super easy and super fun and anybody can do. So I hope you join me, grab your sketchbook, and let's get started. Here's a list of all the materials you will need. An all-media sketchbook, some matte paints, midnight blue, baby pink, wedding cake white, or any colors that are similar would work. A few brushes, a medium round brush, a medium slanted square brush, and a fine brush. An old gift card or a wide putty knife, a white gel marker, a plastic cup with water, and a paper plate. Since one of the goals with my videos is for you to relax and unwind, go ahead and choose some nice relaxing music to listen to in the background. Grab a cup of tea, light a candle, and do whatever you need to do to set up your creative space. Take a deep breath and exhale to release all your tension. Now we can start. Pour some of the midnight blue paint along the edge of the old gift card or putty knife, and then press the card down from the center of the page and glide it towards the outside at about a 30-degree angle. Put enough pressure on the card so that the paint spreads evenly across the page. Do this until the entire page is covered in midnight blue. You can cover the entire page pretty quickly and with not much paint. Repeat the process on the other side of the page until both pages are completely blue. If your paint does not look a solid blue, you can definitely go over it and touch it up. Although a slight variation in tone makes the background interesting too. If the variation is too drastic, then you could find that the background becomes too distracting. So the more even you could get the coat paint, the better. If you're new to my videos, notice that I use a craft dryer to dry the paint a bit faster. And I also speed up through some of the repetitive parts of the video. However, you're not in a hurry, so take this time to breathe and relax. You can also pause this video at any point, rewind, save it for later, or come back to it and finish it at a later time if you need to. Grab the medium slanted brush and dab it in white paint. We're going to make a few smaller hearts all over the page. If you did not watch my previous Valentine video and have never drawn a heart before, think of it as, or painted a heart before, think of it as a large letter V with a lowercase letter M on top. So make the V and now make the M by rotating the brush into a semicircle and again from the other edge of the V to close the heart. Use your wrist and fingers for this motion. Your wrist should be up in the air. Complete the M and fill in the heart with paint. Now you might notice that your heart doesn't look entirely like a heart, so you can touch up the edges if you need to with the brush and make any adjustments, and you can also use the pointy part of the brush to make the pointy part of the heart. Make more hearts, rotating them slightly on the page and place them about 2 inches from each other. But you don't have to be exact about this measurement. This is just to give you an idea that they need to be spread out, not too close together, but also not too far apart. They should also look like the hearts are sprinkled on the page, so not necessarily facing the same way or in the same direction. You can also place 1 or 2 going off the page. Doing so will make the composition more appealing and will create movement on the page. You also get to practice how to apply paint with a brush and how to have more fluidity or ease with your strokes. So far so good, right? So now make a larger heart on the left side of the page and place it so that it is going off the page as well. Add more white hearts on the left side so that the amount of hearts on the left page balances with the amount of hearts on the right side. That's more of a visual thing. Probably another 4 or 5 hearts. You'll have to play with it. You might need to do, a few more, just depending on what your page and the size of your hearts look like. I am rotating the sketchbook because I have more fluidity with my strokes this way. You may also need to do the same. Wait for all the paint to dry and touch up each heart to make them more solid or flat throughout. Don't forget to breathe slowly and release all that anxious energy with each exhale. All right, I just want to say that I hope you're enjoying this guided tutorial. If you find value in my content, please show your appreciation by liking the video. If you haven't already, please subscribe and turn on notifications so that you can be alerted when new videos are available. I will be posting full tutorials at least twice a month, maybe more if there's enough interest. The more people that like the video, the more people YouTube will show this video to. So when you like my video, you help me reach more people. Also, share it on social media with your friends or with anyone that you think may enjoy some artistic mindfulness. I would really appreciate it. Now, back to the project. So once more, check that everything is dry before moving on to the next step. Use your medium-sized brush and dab the brush in pink acrylic paint. We are going to make 3 large hearts and they're all going to be moving off the page. So you're only making part of the heart. I'm also placing them so that they appear to be behind some of the white hearts. I have to tell you that these designs are not planned ahead of time. I pretty much come up with them in the moment. So you're also witnessing my creative process. I guess if I had planned this, I would have opted for painting the pink hearts first and then added the white hearts. If you think of painting like a series of layers with the background being the last layer, then that is what you would paint first because you're working your way from the back all the way to the front. And then whatever object is at the very, very front of the composition would be your first layer and the last thing that you paint. In this case, the white hearts. The pink hearts fall somewhere in between, and that is obvious on the parts where they are behind the white hearts. So those should have been painted after the blue background, but since the creative process is not always linear, you just have to work around it. And that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to show you. Okay, make your heart outline. The heart should appear to be completely behind one of the hearts. Then make the outline around the smaller heart. Here you get to practice a little bit of precision and eye-hand coordination. Your brush stroke should follow the edge of the white heart. Now you can fill in the pink heart. You can see that on my painting, the outline of the heart is too close to the one white heart on the very top right there. And I think it would look better if the white heart is partially in front of the pink heart. So I'm going to modify the heart so it looks like it's behind, but I think I can do that better if I rotate the sketchbook. So I try to repaint the outline, making an imaginary line across the white heart. However, that pink heart does not look too accurate, and it almost looks like a good part of the heart is missing. So I need to go back and fill this in. At this point, I realize that rotating the sketchbook probably wasn't such a good idea because I'm right-handed and this is all on the left side and it's just hard for me to get to. I should have just turned the sketchbook around at that moment, but I kept thinking that somehow it wasn't going to be on camera or it would be too disruptive to have the sketchbook rotating around back and forth. So I kept the sketchbook upright, and you can see the strokes are not as fluid being right-handed and working on the left side of the page, but that's just how it is. I could probably cut all these parts out and make it look like the entire process is seamless and perfect, but I am trying to be as authentic and honest in this process with all of you as I can, because you will run into issues like this, and if I show you how I troubleshoot them, hopefully this will give you some ideas as how you can also troubleshoot them yourself. Follow the same concept to paint the second heart, the one on the corner on the right side of the page. So now you know that you're going to make an outline, and then you are going to follow the outline of the white hearts, and then you're just going to fill everything in. Pretty much that's what you need to do. Now go ahead and make sure everything is dry before moving on to the next step. Okay, and just a quick side note, if there is something special that you like, or if there is something in particular that is making you come back to my channel, I would love to see it in the comments, because I would love to better understand what it is that you like about my content so that I can continue to create similar content. Perhaps my videos are giving you more confidence in painting, or perhaps my videos have helped you out of a bad mood. Whatever the case, your feedback is incredibly important to me. Or if there is something that you would like to see, I would like to know so that I can better tailor my content to what you want to see. Because I want to create content that you enjoy watching. So please comment and let me know. I would really appreciate it. Thank you. I'm sure that you're used to watching reels and shorts where artists post super sped up versions of these amazing artworks that seem to be created in seconds and with the utmost accuracy. The truth is, the creative process is not so linear. It's a bit like life. Some things turn out as planned, some not so much, and we have to adapt, correct, and modify. Take, for instance, this heart on the left edge of the page, the one that I've been working on now for a little bit. It looks a bit lopsided still. I could leave it, and if you're experiencing something similar, you could also let it be and move on, because some of these exercises are really not about perfection. But if you want to see how I troubleshoot something like this, it is quite simple. First, observe the shape and identify what is wrong with it. And when I say observe, it's really, you have to use your eyes, your brain, you have to analyze what it is that you're looking at. And this is pretty obvious because it's just a heart, but you can use this exercise with more complex compositions. I think it needs a third heart in front of it, but one that is going off the page, first of all, because I think there's just a lot of pink there. So I'm going to add it. And I am rotating the sketchbook towards me so that I have more fluidity with the strokes this time, because I'm right-handed and this is on the left side of the page. And you've already seen how I'm struggling with the left side of the page. So you might find that rotating the sketchbook makes painting easier for you too. I'm going to let that heart dry, but I'm going to come back to this pink heart in a little bit because I'm not done with it just yet. The third heart is going to be on the top center part of the spread. I am rotating the sketchbook this time, as you've noticed, to have easier access to this part of the page, and because painting this upright makes more sense to my brain as well. You might find that rotating the sketchbook makes painting easier for you too. Obviously, you're not in front of a camera, so you can rotate it as much as you need to or want to. Once I make my initial outline, I realize that if I have part of the white heart touching the pink heart, it will look better than if they are not intersecting at all. So I repaint the outline, this time going a bit wider. Then I carefully outline the white heart and fill in the pink heart with paint. This goes back to what I just said about looking at the composition, looking at what you're doing, and editing things on the spot. So in this case, it was something that just seemed better to do at that particular moment, so I went ahead and did it. And you might find that as you're drawing or painting your hearts, you're gonna be doing the same thing. Since I've been struggling with these hearts a little bit, and I'm sharing that with you and how I troubleshoot these things, I think it's a good point right now to do a mental check and become aware of any part of your body that is still holding any tension. Sometimes when we have tension, it comes through in the paint, in what we're doing, and things not, like in my case right now, where things are not flowing as I would want to, and that's completely normal. I'm sharing this with you because it's part of the process. It's part of relaxing. It's releasing some of that tension. You know, at the end goal, you're going to be relaxed, even though in the process you're releasing some of the tension, and that tension is coming through the way it's coming through. So this is a great time for you to do a mental check and become aware again of any part of your body that is still holding any tension. Focus on that spot and breathe again. When you exhale, notice that part of your body relaxing. So now we can move on. And go ahead and double check that everything is dry. And in my case, I'm going to go back to that very first pink heart. Obviously, your heart's probably different than mine, so you just need to watch so that you can understand how I'm troubleshooting this. So the M part of the heart is a bit weak. The M is not very pronounced. So I'm simply going to repaint the outline and give the heart a second coat to make it more solid all throughout. That's it. And then I'm going to touch up all the hearts so that they're more solid because they're a little streaky. Editing and adjusting elements on the spot is a normal part of the design process. Observe, assess, and modify if needed, but don't go too crazy either. The options are endless, and it is easy to get stuck on edit mode and never complete a project. Once all the elements are dry, you're ready for the next step, which is with the white gel marker. So go ahead and grab it. If you don't have one, you could use your fine brush and white paint. Start on the larger white heart and make a border of small semicircles all around the heart, like what you're seeing. Do the same on all the smaller hearts and make the semicircles smaller so they look proportionate. You can start at the center of the heart and work your way around so that when you finish, you have a good place to stop. The repetition should help you unwind even more. So take your time. The last step is to make tiny hearts all over the pink hearts. So with this exercise, you're using the same shape repeatedly, but you're using it in different sizes and colors. That type of variety creates movement, visual interest, and a really cute design. That is it. You have completed another guided creative exercise with me, Adrian. I hope you've enjoyed it, and please share with friends, like, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Oh, and if you finish this project, send me a picture. I may feature your work on a future post. Thanks so much for watching.